We're talking F1, the movie starring Brad Pitt. I came absolutely buzzing out of this movie. Got to see it early at a fan event on Monday. It releases this weekend everywhere, Thursday, Friday. So definitely go check that out. But I came out of this movie buzzing, so I definitely want to talk about it. This is Minor League Films. Make sure you hit that sub button, hit that like button, and let's jump into it. So I'm gonna jump into synopsis. Then we'll start to break it down because I had a lot of fun with this movie. But let's jump into it. So Sonny Hayes, Formula One driver, one of the most promising drivers in the world, until he has an accident on the track, nearly ending his career. So basically, we catch up with him 30 years later. He's out there driving, and funny enough, this movie starts, and you'll see the commercial talking about I won Daytona. It kind of starts with that movie where he's at the Daytona 500, and you easily see he's the best driver out there. Absolutely crushes it. And by the end, they're like, "Hey, man, like you're good. Why don't you come join our NASCAR team? We can run this back when again." He's like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm off to the next thing," which is pretty funny. So he gets approached by Javier Bardem, who plays his friend Ruben, who says, "Hey, man, I own this A1, I own this F1 team called Apex. We're struggling right now. We got no wins. We got this good driver, but he's kind of, he's immature. He's young. I need you to come in. You are really our last hope. This is a Hail Mary, basically. They use that term a lot in this movie. But you're the best driver I've seen. We used to race together. I need you to come in. I just need to get a win so I can keep this team, help me out. And also, you've never got that vaunted F1 series win that you wanted to. That's the one thing in your career you haven't done. So, hey, here's an opportunity to come chase your dreams here." So movie kind of goes from there. He offers him, and Brad Pitt goes out to obviously we started F1, so we take some of on the offer, man. But got to start with this, man. One, I will say this is kind of a very fun, more family movie. One thing I got to share is we had the trailers, and in the trailers, like I had a like teenager kid over to my left, and this lady on my right, and in the trailers they put The Conjuring, which was definitely not the vibe of the audience. It's a horror movie, and everybody in the theater was freaking out. It was just so funny. A lot of people cringed up, like, "Why is this here? I'm just trying to come and see a fun movie." The lady next to me was like, "I'd rather be dead than watch this." So I just thought it was funny. But no, a great crowd atmosphere. So got to start with this. One, if you're gonna watch this movie, go see it in the IMAX. And I don't think I've ever said this on a review. Don't pull the Scotty path, and I get Scotty all this time. Don't watch this on your iPod. Don't watch this at home on a small TV. Like, go to an IMAX theater. I saw this at AMC and Adobe. Or is it Adobe? Adobe Theater, one of the two. I think it's Adobe. But the sound is absolutely some of the racing scenes in here. You can feel the car vibration. You can really like it feels like you're in the race with the sound editing they do, which is awesome in this movie. The director here is Joseph Kosinski. I know I was going to jack his name, but you'll know him, Top Gun Maverick, which was the movie of the summer, in my opinion, for that year. I think a couple of years ago now. But he did an awesome job with that. He's back here. And also did Tron Legacy, which is one of my favorite movies visually. Script could use some work, but we had new Tron coming out, so we ain't worried about that no more. But no, he does a great job here. But stars our guy, Sonny Hayes, who's Brad Pitt. So he's very much the transporter in this movie. Anything with wheels, this man is good. So besides the fighting and the crazy stuff Jason Statham is doing, anything with wheels, because this guy competes pretty much everywhere. He'll do it. If you have a four-wheeler event to NASCAR to wherever, he's done it. He just loves to race. And like I said, Javier Bardem gets him to join this team that he has is struggling. The movie also stars Damon. I don't know what I was going to say. Dame Some Idris, who you'll know him from Snowfall. This is my first time seeing him on the big screen. I've seen some of Snowfall. I haven't seen a lot, but I think he's really good into this. I say Harvey Bardem as well. And Kerry Coden, who plays a car engineer. But I got to start with Brad Pitt, man, before I break down this, man. I say this movie, like I put Oscar worthy on there. I don't know if this is quite Oscar worthy because I'll talk about this later. I think this movie is a bit safe, but he is so charming and fun in this role, and he fits it perfectly. And you kind of go into the depths of him a little bit of like, yeah, he's this guy. He's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's fun to be around. He has some past struggles that they did dive into a little bit later, but overall, the dialogue. Very funny movie. And I think this movie hangs his hat on his comedy writing. When it's not the racing scenes, which this movie, I'll say this. This is not about story. This is really not about anything deep. This is nothing of, oh, a guy's comeback story. This movie is about the racing. The racing, and this is why I say see it in IMAX. The racing is what you come for, and that is the best parts. And between that, they do good dialogue. They have fun. They do something to try to keep you going from race to race because the cinematography and the racing in this movie, and I believe they hit all the F1 tracks in here, all the famous ones, which they because this movie it's a $300 million movie. The budget is high. They really spent some money on this, and it paid off. And you'll see it. I think even their producer Lewis Hamilton, who is F1 driver, on here to make sure they got everything right. And he said this is realistic as it's going to get. So a lot of hype, but that is where this movie it lays his money at. But as far as the story goes, I mean, it's fun to see Brad Pitt kind of go on this redemption story of like, hey, this is the one thing I haven't won. Me and my dad tried to do it a long time ago. I got in this really bad accident. I've been bouncing all over. I mean, he's done it all. He's gone racing. He's been a professional gambler. Like he's done a lot of things here, and not, not all good ones. And there's actually a press conference scene where they're just like, "Didn't this happen to you? Yeah, didn't it happen to you? Yeah. Would you change anything? Yeah." Like he is such a charming person in this movie, and I think this movie he kind of gives the character, and I would say like another reason I would say like maybe not quite Oscar worthy is because Brad Pitt is really like really high. He's up here in this movie. And everybody else, they're kind of here. I think the best person across from there is Javier Bardem. I mean, you do get the sense that they're old friends, and obviously Javier Bardem, you know him, No Country for Old Men, a bunch of different movies. He's in Skyfall as well. He's one who can really kind of go toe to toe with him in these scenes, and I think it's fun seeing them together. He really looks like Tony Stark's uncle or so. Every time I see him, I'm like, yo, Robert Downey Jr.'s like uncle, like he must be him because that's what he looks like. You know, Robert Downey Jr. is like 60 now, but whatever. So, but he's really good in this. But we get a lot of time with Brad Pitt and Damson Idris. I don't want to screw his name up again. Damson Idris, who, like I said, I've only really seen him a little bit in Snowfall. I haven't watched a lot of Snowfall, but I think he's also good in this. I would say good at times and great at times. But I mean, I know he's in talks to maybe be the next Black Panther. We'll see. That's on the rumor mill. But so far from what I see from him, I'm pretty sure if I watched Snowfall, I probably would fall in love with his acting because I know that show's fantastic. So I've heard I got to watch more of it. But he is good in this. Can't quite go toe to toe with Brad Pitt on a lot of scenes, but sometimes he does, and it really raises the level of this movie. Carrie Coden is another one in here who she plays a car engineer basically. She used to work doing engineering, got an offer, and says, "Hey, like I'm trying to make the best car in the world," and that's kind of her job. And she has also a lot of great scenes with Brad Pitt. It's a lot of comedy in here, man. It's fun. I do like that. So I say this is a very fun movie. The one thing about it, it's a feel good movie. This is a summer blockbuster in every sense of the word. I mean, we've only had what Mission Impossible this year, try to hit that summer mark. Maybe Sinners if you count that, but I don't really count that as summer. It feels like we're just kind of getting to that time period. But yeah, this is the summer blockbuster. I honestly think this is going to do really well at the box office and make a ton of money because it is a feel good movie. Basically, it's a lot of comedy, a lot of going to the scene, a lot of racing. But in that saying, they don't want to get you too down in here. They want you to feel good and leave the movie feel good, which I did. I felt great leaving this movie. I made me want to, grab my car and I drive a Honda, so obviously I don't want to hit. I can't hit 200 on the way home, but it made me want to. So I think that's what this movie is going for, and I think it's really successful in that. But I do think this movie is a bit safe. I mean, I think the racing scenes are awesome, but once you get out of that and kind of get to the acting and the backstory, they don't want to really kind of dive into the negative one. Like there's a scene kind of midpoint or more towards like 60% into the movie where something kind of almost like tragic happens a little bit. And it's like, man, it's kind of a movie where they stop and they're like, all right, this happened. Like, how are we going to bounce back from this? And they're like, okay, let's talk a little bit. Montage. We're back to the racing, like getting the crowd up. So they don't spend a lot of times really in tragic moments, which that's why I say Oscar worthy. I don't know if they gave Brad Pitt I think he's so good in this. He's so charming. Like when he's with Carrie Coden, her character's name is Kate. He charms her. He charms the audience. He charms Damon Idris, who plays Joshua Pierce. He charms him like he charms Ruben. He charms everyone in this movie. So I think he's just so good at that. I mean, dialogue too. I think the dialogue is up and down at times. There's a lot of funny dialogue in here, and I think the jokes land for the most part. Sometimes it's a little dull, but for the most part, I think they did a good job with it. So I like it, but it kind of just rests there. It feels a little safe. If I had a criticism, that would be it. You could have pushed it at points. I think if you push the drama a little bit more, let Brad Pitt really act in those points, maybe he would be Oscar worthy in this. I don't think it is. I think it's just going to be one of those movies where definitely it's just going to be known for the racing. I think the performances are going to hang second, but I think that was their goal coming in here. I mean, they spent so much money on it. That's kind of where you want to lie in. But like I said, very feel good movie. Don't want to spoil too much or tell too much, but I will say this: a lot of great scenes. As far as F1 and learning the driving. I don't know that much about F1. I've never watched it. I mean, I've seen like highlights or whatever, Sports Center, but these scenes make me want to watch it. They make me want to go into that intensity. Obviously, you get to see these guys who, and it's funny stuff with Damon Idris and Brad Pitt. They're learning a lot from each other. It's funny. They're kind of like the same character almost, where it's like you two don't get along because you're the same. You're both assholes. They say they say in the trailer. You're both assholes. You both are arrogant. You both at times don't listen. You like to talk, but you don't like to get feedback. And it's funny seeing them kind of butt, because as soon as it gets there, they're gonna butt heads. They're gonna fight each other, but eventually that teamwork kind of goes. And also too, just diving into raising Brad Pitt in this movie, I say like transport. He's great at anything with wheels. Basically, he's given a raw deal here where it's like, hey, like we don't have the car to compete with Ferrari. We don't have the car to compete with some of these other teams, and that's why we're losing. We can't just beat them on a straight track. We got to be good at different points to where they're not good at. And Brad Pitt is good of like, hey man, if we got to race a little dirty or gritty. I mean, at times he gets the reputation for being a dirty driver, but really he's just finding little edges. I think it's cool watching them from the start say, hey, like these are our list of problems. Because when he gets to this team, and let's move back a little bit, when he gets to this team, like they have a ton of like too much problems to really be a professional team. And it almost feels unrealistic where it's like everybody's screwing up. They have their pit crew who's screwing up, their drivers are screwing up, guys making the decisions are screwing up. But it's almost funny, and then Brad Pitt comes in, it's like, okay, all right, let me get you guys sorted. Let me get you guys sorted. Let me get this racing sorted, to the point where he almost repels on his team at times, like, hey, if you don't do what I asked for, I'm not driving. So it's kind of fun there. But like I said, it's a feel good movie because you see this entire team, and I think that's kind of another theme in this movie is teamwork. Because Brad Pitt, he doesn't have the F1 win, and the only way he's even going to get it, or even this team, it's not really about him getting the win. It's about a team getting the win, so they don't have to sell the company. um, they got to all work together, and they spent a lot of time developing this teamwork. Him and Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris, and a lot of times developing that, and that's kind of where the fun comes in this movie. So it's a lot of that. Like I said, it's good. It's fun seeing those two grow together, and by the end of the movie, they're a dynamic duo. But it shows the teamwork you need in racing to really be successful. And when they try to do it alone, they fail. They do get better at it. They both good drivers, but until they really get that teamwork, which it takes a long, and I say a long time, it takes a long time, where they basically Kate, played by Carrie Coden, she basically pulls them out dinner, sets them up, and be like, okay, you two need to talk, and we need to sort this out, which is a good scene. And even then, still they're almost to the same page, but it takes a while. But no, man, I think this movie is a lot of fun. Like I said, this is early. I don't want to spoil too much. Definitely want to talk about it more, but I think it's a fun movie. This is a summer blockbuster in every sense of the word. I left this movie feeling fantastic. I left this movie like, man, this makes me want. I will go see this movie again. I don't think I've seen a movie twice, maybe Sinners, but outside of that, this is the only movie I've seen twice this year. This is right there. I'm definitely gonna go watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again at IMAX. You just have to do it. Like I'm telling you, do it, do it, do it. As far as the rating in this movie, oh man, it's such a fun movie, and I left the theater feeling so high. I want to give this a home run, which is damn near perfect, fantastic. I just think this movie was a little too safe for that. Like there's a lot of times where I'm like, ooh, that it quite doesn't hit like I think they wanted to. But this is a high price of admission movie. I mean, IMAX costs you what, almost $20 these days. I'd say it's worth it. It's at least for one time, it's worth it seeing it at that level, getting the sound, feeling the races. I mean, the races again, they're awesome. They're filmed so well. Everything about the production and the cinematography is amazing. I want to go there, but it's just not a home run movie. If I think of my favorite movies of this year, Final Destination, Sinners, or two of them. Sinners probably I would put as a home run. This is probably just under that for me. It's not quite that good with its drama, dialogue, certain things like that. So, but yeah, no, I think it's gonna be fantastic. You definitely got to get out and see it. Like I said, it comes out Thursday. It's price of admission for me, high price of admission. So I'm gonna go check that out. But yeah, I will do some spoiler talk and later talk about it again. But yeah, that's my review, man. For the most part, go out and see. Like I said, IMAX, IMAX, IMAX. Brad Pitt is awesome. I hope this movie wins some Oscars for its production, because I think that's fantastic. Again, everybody's good. It's fun. You'll leave feeling good, and it definitely has a lot of rewatch value. So there you go. That's my review for it. Love talking about this movie. It's a lot of fun to see. Minor League Films, man, subscribe. We got more stuff coming. Megan comes out this Thursday, so I will be going to see that. So 2 reviews in 1 week. Haven't got to see this early, but Megan, man, I love the first one. I can't wait to check the second one. So definitely tune in for that. But hit that like button, hit that sub. We're Minor League Films pretty much at all places. So Instagram, find us there. Only place on TikTok, Corona Comics, is where we do it there. So other than that, all that'll be linked in the bio. But yeah, go out and see this movie. Brad Pitt is awesome. It's a lot of fun. Go check it out. All that good stuff. We will catch you next time.